How long has it been since your car has actually like you submitted your claim stuff?
Easter, dude.
Easter.
East holiday Easter weekend.
Holiday Weaster?
Weaster.
You have a real problem with being able to enunciate your words.
I think I try to talk faster than my brain can compute it.
I would believe that because I've seen your brain.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, so the car's been out of
slow.
commission since Easter. Like how long is that? Is that 2 months yet? Am I at the month mark at least?
Well, wait. Easter was it April this year? It was late. So
Yeah.
you're 4 months, bro.
No way.
Yeah, it's July.
Wow. All right. So yeah, I don't know what maybe I'm getting my car back this week, folks. So try not to get in any accidents, folks, because parts back orders are out of control.
These back issues at 25 cents.
Yeah, and I've been without my main car for a good while. I have been enjoying the summer of Jeep Wrangler. If anyone's ever considered a Jeep Wrangler, and thought those things are kind of overpriced, they're a hell of fun. It's got so much charm, yet it's so like basic. I guess the word would be like the doors are super light because they come off. I don't even know if I would say it's practical. It's more gimmicky. The fact that you can pull off all the doors, the roof, and fold down the front window is a hilarious gimmick, and I would enjoy having this thing all summer. But anyways, car woes aside, first world problems, whatever. What's up, folks? Welcome to the Sidekick Show. We have moved our drive episode to a later date. We'll talk
a different time.
Yeah, we've driven it off. So thank you for joining us. There was so many. Rob.
Yeah.
This is to my. Is this my left or my right? This is.
Hey, can you please look at your hands?
To this side of the screen is Rob Gaudet, and we're here to goof around with you and have some fun on Monday night. I can see people already laughing at me. So thank you, everybody. We were thinking, we're not going to cover this because maybe it'll be a flop. Maybe they won't show anything off. But they proceeded to drop a ton of stuff. So we wanted to talk about it. Yeah.
So for those who are not watching the live stream, hey, what are you doing? You're listening to this afterwards. If it's Tuesday morning, you're listening to us in your gym doing your reps. You should be joining us Monday nights, 8:15, so we can you can chat about in the YouTube comments. We have tons of people in the comments, and thank you all for joining. But if you are tuning in afterwards, we are talking about San Diego Comic-Con and the big event that happened this past weekend. Before I get into that, John, can we just say a big thank you to all of those who tuned in for our latest Heroes World podcast with yourself, Stu, and me here, MC Robbie G. And we did a review of RRR. What? We did a review of RRR, currently on Netflix, I think worldwide. And, I can do a quick check, but I think at last count, John, we were over 10,000 views.
It's a little out of control. YouTube algorithms, who knows what's going on. But long story short, the movie is hella fun. Give it a chance. I know a lot of us, I never watched those types of movies, I guess we could call it, or that genre of movie. And I had a lot of fun. So, shout out to Triple H. But we're talking about Triple R.
11,000 views, John, over 3 days. So a bit, and listen, listen, John, we're not perfect people. Our wives collectively tell us that all the time, that we are far from perfect. But you know what? We've had some decent feedback from individuals kind of making some corrections about some of the things that we had discussed in the podcast, which is great. So we always welcome the feedback, keep it positive, keep it fun. But we had a lot of fun watching that movie and reviewing it. And obviously people seem to have enjoyed it, John, because we've had no dislikes on the review. So 365 likes, no dislikes, and 11,000 views. So you can't go wrong with that. So if you haven't tuned into our RRR review, please go do so.
No, that would cause the reverse effect, Scott. That would be all the negative. That would be the negative, the thumbs down. It's always nice to get constructive criticism. The internet glitched out there for a second there. I was just clarifying.
No,
so
you
guys can make
glitched
sure
there.
you hear. Shut up, you. But anyways, since we got a little extra time, Rob, let's open up the segment with how was your weekend? So if anybody got up to something cool this weekend, maybe caught a show or a movie that they were, had on their list, let us know in the comments what we should be watching, what we shouldn't be watching. Rob, did you hear Resident Evil TV show was so bad that people said it should be stricken from Netflix?
No, I haven't.
The worst outing since Jupiter's Legacy?
I haven't. I've heard it's just horrible, but now it makes me want to watch it. I don't know.
You want to watch several episodes of something that is considered so horrible that it should be stripped off of Netflix.
But why is it that, listen, I know there's a lot of love, especially in with our group of friends here who enjoy the Mila Jovovich series of Resident Evil movies. But I think we can all agree they weren't high watermark movies. They set out to do something. They did it fairly well on a very cheap budget, and it was enjoyable. But why is it, John, that Resident Evil as a property just cannot seem to do well by any adaptations? I don't get it.
They keep effing it up. I don't know what is going on here. Who's in charge or who's not got their hands in the pot? Maybe the original creator is maybe sold it, and I don't follow the Resident Evil series as closely because of duds like this. So I do enjoy the games, but maybe someone creatively is not in the mix that's allowing these things to just come out and flop. I think Frazier told us last week he gave the Raccoon City movie a 5 out of 10. I don't think any of us is running the recon on this TV show. I think Gord said he watched it and he said it wasn't that bad, which is not a glowing review.
Yeah.
Whenever you come back with something and say it wasn't that bad,
that's like reheating spaghetti after 3 days in the fridge. I ate it. It wasn't that bad. Well, it wasn't that great either.
Yeah. So did you watch anything other than Resident Evil?
Which I did.
Or like along with everybody else, did you also not watch Resident Evil?
I also did not watch that show. So you know what I did? I'll just make two quick things. I saw on Paramount Plus, The Offer, which is a 10-episode miniseries about the making of The Godfather, which I'm going to tell you, the pitch that I just made makes it sound atrocious. Why do you need 10 episodes to tell this story? People are like, I'm out. I'm not going to watch it. But the story and the actors who are playing real life people are so compelling that I actually found myself like enamored watching this thing. I was like really into it. So if you have Paramount Plus or you have another way of accessing any of their content, go ahead and check out The Offer. And then the last thing, John, is I watched The Gray Man, which hit on Netflix this past weekend, the Russo brothers' latest directorial movie with Chris Evans and Ryan Gosling, who is in Drive that we were going to review tonight. I actually quite enjoyed it. I know Stu was kind of disappointed with it, but I thought it was pretty decent. I saw it yesterday afternoon, and I was happy with it. I'll probably throw it on again. So for me, it was all right. I liked it.
Yeah. It's in the pantheon of Netflix movies, because this is a dedicated Netflix movie, right? Where, do you know where it sits? Is it in the top somewhere? Is Extraction still top of the mountain?
Is which one?
Extraction.
Yeah, I really like that one. I think Extraction's still pretty high up. You know what? Like we talked about Red Notice, with Reynolds and The Rock and Gal Gadot. And again, that was an okay movie. I would say it's probably comparable to that. Although
it wasn't that bad.
No, it wasn't that bad. It was funny. It was okay. It was watchable. I will say that the fight scenes in this are very reminiscent of the Bourne movies. So if you're a big fan of Bourne movies, I think you'll probably really enjoy The Gray Man.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and shout out to Paramount Plus, who's kind of like turning into a pretty decent player in the streaming realm. I thought when they first announced it, I was like, oh man, another one that's going to kind of come and go. But they have The Offer, Mayor of Kingstown, which I really liked. I'm sure they have a host of other shows that have been doing really well. So shout outs to that. I didn't really get up to much this week because we had a really busy weekend at the shop. We've got some of our gaming going back on again. So if you've ever considered Warhammer 40K or Star Wars Legion or any type of miniature game, we've kind of started to set those back up. I did listen to Michael Rosenbaum and Tom Welling on the Talkville podcast, which they are going back and rewatching the old episodes of Smallville and they're on episode 2 now. So that's a lot of fun, kind of reliving back in the day. Yeah. Smallville, big part of my youth. I should dig up those posters I have in my mom's place and put them up back here. It'd be pretty funny. But yeah, shout outs to that. Let's check in to see what else people got up to this weekend. I think Scott said he was reading his Brubaker Captain America Omnibus of the Winter Soldier. So he's finally catching up on the comic version of the Winter Soldier, which is one of Brubaker's best works, I think.
Yeah.
One of the best Captain America stories, especially. So definitely enjoy reading that, Scott. Lewis said he watched all the San Diego Comic-Con stuff. So yeah, that's what you're here for today. We're going to talk about that. We're going to get your thoughts and all that kind of stuff. I don't think anyone. Fraser said he ejected after episode 2 of Resident Evil. Yeah. So I think that's gonna be the case for a lot of people. I tried episode 1. I didn't get it on it. So a lot of people. Yeah, I don't think anyone else got a chance to watch Gray Man like you. So we'll wait on people's opinions on that. Maybe next week. Extraction. Everyone agrees that it is a great movie. I think I'm gonna save it for when we're on the verge of number 2 or a trailer for number 2 coming out, and then maybe we'll do a rewatch together of that one. Fraser's watching Nobody again with Saul Goodman, right?
Bob Odenkirk. Bob Odenkirk. Yeah, that was a good movie. That's on. I think it's on Crave right now in Canada. So I've been meaning to kind of recheck it out again because it's a fun. Somebody else, I think it was Steve. He said it was. He enjoyed it as well. It's simple action flick nowadays, kind of like John Wick, and it's true. It's you know what? They're just simple. We've talked about this. These simple revenge stories, right? Yeah. These and it's a trope, and they're easily consumable. You could just sit there and watch it for 90 minutes. You get your action, you get a little bit of comedy, and it's like, hey, cool. I'm good. I'm done. Right. So,
yeah. All right. Cool. So thank you everybody for sticking with us and listening to our weekend antics and sharing yours. So let's get on to. We're going to talk about San Diego Comic-Con 2022 reveals, reactions, and discussion. I just felt like reading that. So San Diego Comic-Con just happened this week. Rob, how big a deal is this San Diego Comic-Con to you now? Because I feel like I don't think what else matches this. Does the Oscars hype match this?
Well, they're two different things, right? Like the Oscars and the Emmys and all that shit are awards given for movies that you may or may not have seen. Whereas the Comic-Con is about the unveiling of shit that you cannot wait to come forward and new stuff that you didn't know was coming out, right? Like that's it. For people like us who have no ability to go to San Diego, yes, there's still the con in terms of like lots of comic books and statues and collectibles and things that you can do, Artist Alley, same type of shit we have here at Fan Expo. But Comic-Con, San Diego Comic-Con is really for everybody outside of San Diego to be able to just nerd out collectively online at all the announcements and the trailers and the new advancements of what we understand and what's coming out from Marvel or DC or of Image or whatever.
Of comic book technology.
The new advancements in comic book technology. That ink is crazy. So for it, it's just really cool to be able to find it. I think the hype factor around Comic-Con is huge, especially this year. 2 years being virtual, and it tanked. It was overshadowed by DC Fandom. It was overshadowed by Marvel's D23. This is Marvel's first year back. I don't think they even attended in 2019. I could be wrong about that, but they were really holding a lot of their notifications and their announcements for D23 in years past.
Keeping it close to the vest,
right. But this year they came back to Comic-Con and they just dropped their giant schlong down on the table and said, "Here we are."
Their metaphorical Mjolnir or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, Mjolnir. They dropped Mjolnir on the table and DC were unable to pick it up. So, it's a big deal, man.
Yeah, I think as far as hype wise and especially in nerd culture, this is it. This is the thing this year that you do not want to miss. Shout outs to DC Fandom. The first one was really good. So second one, they're still learning. So I think that the next one is going to be the true test of it. If they
have a DC Fandom, John.
Yeah. Who knows what was going on? Yeah. Shout out to Michelle. She said it was DC even there. Yeah, we're going to talk about that.
Yeah.
It's going to come up. I wanted to do a couple quick announcements before. So related to San Diego Comic-Con, there was a couple announcements that do affect the shop. later on buy from the shop. So I'm going to just mention them at the top of the show so you know about them, and then we're going to delve into all kinds of discussions, and we might watch some trailers together and things like that. So the first thing that we heard about was Last Ronin. They're actually doing a follow-up to the Ronin verse, they called it in an article. The smash hit of this, I guess it started during the pandemic, so I don't know if I can say last year, but whatever. The series just wrapped up. You can get the collection of the Last Ronin series all together in very nice hardcover that we have in stock at the shop. It's about $40 Canadian. I can ship it to you. You can come pick it up, whatever. But it was actually a really good read, Rob. I don't know if you're interested in checking it out, but the idea is that the turtles have all passed away in some form or another, and there's only one left, and he's left to carry on the legacy. And who it is, I don't know. You got to read the book to find out. But they've announced this one, The Lost Years, which is coming out as early as November 2022 with 3 different covers. So I think this is going to be really good. Like this is really, IDW has a really good TMNT ongoing series, which has kind of expanded the universe. But this, for some reason, brought a lot of people into it. A lot of people wanted to check this out. And now that the collection's out, I think a lot of people are going to dig it. There's action figures on the way, all kinds of fun stuff. So Last Ronin, I highly recommend it. And you'll probably want to put this follow-up on your list. Next, Rob, we've often showed off a lot of Sideshow Collectibles stuff during this show. So, of course, Sideshow Collectibles was at San Diego Comic-Con with many statues on display, some stuff that we showed off here that was only in the prototype stages. So now you get to see them live and in person and stuff. What's up, James? Let's take a look at some pictures, Rob. I know we're going to be drooling. I think most of these are Prime 1 statues. So, get your wallet ready. So let's show this one off. We looked at this one earlier this year. This is the Ripley. Looks really good in person. Lighting effects on it, and I think the face actually looks a lot better this time around. I feel like now that we actually have a production model. This is Keanu Reeves from Cyberpunk. So this is another
Cyberpunk. Sorry,
yeah. Which I'm surprised they don't have a movie or a short to go with it. I'm sure it's on the way. This gentleman here, we've talked many times about Brandon Lee's The Crow. So this looks like a pretty epic statue. I don't think we even got a chance to see this yet, so this might be something that's being listed soon. And then let's take a look at the DC booth. So I think this was all a Prime 1 booth. Sorry, I should have got specifics, folks, but check this out. Robert Pattinson Batman. In the bottom corner there, you can see the Bat cowl head. And if you look at this picture, Rob, I don't know if you've been following any current Batman stuff, but to the one side of him, you see Green Lantern, and on the opposite side, you'll see Joker and one of the newer characters that's popped up. So I believe this is one of the first things that we're going to see of this character.
Punchline.
Punchline. So this is a new kind of Joker's new girlfriend that when she debuted was their kind of like tagline. So looks really cool. That's pretty much exactly what she looks like when drawn by Jorge Jimenez, who was doing the Batman run at the time, who introduced a whole slew of new characters. So if you're into Batman and you're into nice art and you want to get into some new characters, definitely check out their run on Batman right now. And then the new run just started, Batman 125 with Chip Zdarsky, and I'm sure he's going to have a whole bunch of characters to go along with that. But yeah, thanks for checking out those Sideshow statues. Oh yeah, sorry, one more. This Venom statue. I think we might have looked at it earlier, but of course Marvel did not want to be outdone. And there's a Carnage you can see in the background there. I think we looked at that guy. So plenty of ways to spend your money.
Well, here's the thing, right? About Comic-Con, and I say this because we're going to get into it now with all the we don't have 3 or 4 hours to be able to talk about everything. Right? Everything that was unveiled, everything that was announced, whether it's statues, new comic book news, all the movie news, we don't have the time. There's a lot of stuff. And you know what? Those in the chat and, guys, girls, whatever, we haven't read every article. So please feel free to drop in your comments or any information you have about stuff that we're talking about or anything that you saw that maybe we're not going to be able to cover tonight because of time constraints. But if there's things that you saw that really hyped you up, let us know and we'll try to get into a quick mention. But you know what we're going to do, John? We're going to kick it off now. We're going to talk about, let's just get right into the DC stuff because there's an elephant in the room and their name is Marvel. So we're going to get into DC first and the things that they had unveiled. And to be honest with you, John, there's really only three three things that I think is worth talking about. And the first one I'm going to talk about is the Sandman, which is dropping on Netflix on August the 5th. And we got this. Obviously, we saw this new poster. We got a full trailer, 2.5-minute trailer for the Sandman. John, did you get a chance to check out the trailer, or did anybody, if you guys are in the chat, let me know if you had an opportunity to check out the trailer? But did you, John, happen to
not yet? I kind of when I was back in the day when Sandman came out, there was a DC Vertigo had just started, and you were basically either on the Sandman side or you were on the Preacher side. I ended up going towards Preacher, so Sandman I never really got a chance to read. So I kind of wanted to read like the first. They're going to do a new, DC does these facsimile editions.
Yes.
They're going to do a reprint of the first ever Sandman, and I was hoping to maybe just kind of read that first issue, just to get a feel for it before I dived into it. But what are your thoughts on the trailer? Did you ever read Sandman back in the day?
I never did. I'm well aware of it, of its the plot of it. I'm looking forward to it. I will say this though, I've watched the trailer twice, and it doesn't seem to explain a lot. Like, it feels like it's very you have to be in the know to understand what's happening, and I feel that because it's very heavy and a lot of like the mythological it's mythos and everything else involved. I wonder if it will turn off any people who are completely unfamiliar with the property, because it's very confusing, the trailer wise, right? Like, there was no I know it sounds stupid and this doesn't work for a lot of trailers, but when you have some type of a narration or somebody explaining the things, then it might intrigue people to say, oh, okay, I have a little bit of information, but it just didn't seem to have that. And so for me, who hasn't read it, but has some modicum of understanding of it, even I found the trailer to not be as easily accessible. So for me, I was a little bit surprised about that.
Yeah, Sandman is a bit of a book that's a little bit out there. So I'm not surprised at your statement there. And the use of narration, I don't know why people shy away from it. But it does certainly help. I feel
it does help
a
out.
lot of newer stuff. Yeah.
We saw a trailer and some more information on Shazam 2: Fury of the Gods, which is coming out this December. I actually got to say, this trailer seemed to intrigue me. It looked like they've really pumped up the fun and the action from the first Shazam movie, which I thought it was okay, but this one looks like it's ramped up quite a bit. Did you happen to check out the trailer?
Yes, I saw this one. So Shazam 1, I was late to the party. I skipped it in theaters for some reason. I do regret that decision because, like you said, Rob, it's a fun watch. And it was Zachary Levi, especially very charming, very funny. And I think in this new trailer, he looks even better. I think he looks even more into the role, and they have a moment where he's kind of like, it seems like he's talking to a therapist, but he's talking to a pediatrician, which is kind of cool because he's a kid. Like, he wouldn't know to go to like he's talking to his doctor. So it's really cool, and the whole family dropping in. So I guess it's going to have a big family dynamic.
And there was a Fast and Furious shout out, and I was like, for sure, you were like, oh yeah, this is Fast and Furious. I love it.
He's like family, and then like he's like, that's the cue.
And I gotta say, honestly, the one thing that has always distracted me about the first movie is the way that Shazam looks. I thought his hair looked plastic, and I thought his suit was way too bulky. They've redone
his suit looked like a candy shell, basically. It looked like he was wearing like RoboCop armor, but in the form of a big lightning bolt with a light on it. So this one, he definitely looks a lot more natural, able to walk around.
Yeah, it looks way better.
And it looks like a lot of fun, man. He's like getting thrown into stuff and getting smashed around. So 100%.
And I think the biggest thing that we got out of DC, at least the most hyped from DC that was leading up to this weekend, was The Rock unveiling some Black Adam footage. We got a new 1 and 15-second trailer. We just got a full trailer a couple of weeks ago. Again, John, did you get a chance to check out this trailer for Black Adam?
Yeah. So this Black Adam, it was shorter than or maybe it was the same length as the other trailer. But it looked really cool. We got a really good look at we got a really good look at Hawkman this time. I don't know if we got as good a look at him, and it looks like he and Black Adam are going to be fighting. So that's pretty cool. The Rock looks really good, and DC with all its current woes in talent, I guess we would say it. The Rock, you don't get much better than The Rock as a role model, as a an inspirational figure. So hopefully he can kind of get rid of some of that some of that dirt on DC's cape, or whatever you want to call it.
What I found interesting is that he has kind of confirmed that when the project was announced, they were talking about the JSA, Justice Society of America, and we thought it was going to be a period piece that would be taking place way back in like the 40s or 50s. And then when the first trailer dropped, you're like, wow, that's modern day shit. What's going on? He has essentially come out to say, listen, the JSA, there is no Justice League. It's the JSA that is starting this. This is not a period piece. It's not a tale taken back from years ago. This is now, and the JSA are now. So it's interesting. They're pulling the JSA into modern day times. I got to say, though, after watching this trailer, I'm going to call it right now, John, and I might be wrong. I'm going to call right now that Pierce Brosnan as Dr. Fate, might be the best thing about this Black Adam movie.
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah. I think the way that his voiceovers in this trailer, and coupled with what we saw in the initial trailer, I think that Dr. Fate's going to be the scene stealer, as played by
Stu and Andre like to use the term gravitas, but his voice, like, really iconic. Like, I'm surprised he hasn't done more voiceover work, but he looks really good. Yeah, the Dr. Fate helmet, I know, is kind of irritating a lot of people because it's asymmetrical, one-eyedness and stuff like that. We just got the toys in at the shop.
The McFarlane ones, right?
Yeah, the new McFarlane. Yeah. So they got a big Atom Smasher, a little Atom Smasher, and a bunch of stuff, the Hawkman and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I think people like, where's he been lately? Has he been in anything lately that you think of off the top of your head?
Yeah, he did a movie called The Foreigner, and I feel it was with Jackie Chan a number of years ago. Maybe it's 2018, 2019. Yeah. He's been, he's been kicking around doing some stuff, but I just think this is great, bring him into a big tentpole movie like this. I do want to ask you, John, and everybody in the chat, what are some surprises from the DC panel, or things that we didn't see that you were expecting and you're disappointed by, that, or even shocked that we didn't get to see? How would you summarize, or what were the things about the DC panel?
I think most people are going to bring up that there was lack of stuff. Like, I think we just talked about everything. There was a Sandman, Black Adam, Shazam. Yeah. No Peacekeeper stuff, or Peacemaker. Peacemaker, right? Peacemaker. Nothing, not a peep, not even a John Cena appearance or something like that. And then I remember there was a big thing about The Rock got booed on stage. Like, who boos The Rock? But I guess they got a whole they were talking about Henry Cavill, and everyone is. I remember right before San Diego Comic-Con, everyone's like, Henry Cavill's going to show up. And he didn't. So that was a huge surprise to me as well. I think Deadline had the story or the scoop that Henry Cavill was going to be making an appearance. There have been rumors out there that Superman in some form or another does make an appearance in Black Adam, but will it be like the Shazam end credit where it's, the head's missing, so you don't know who it is? Yeah. That was a shame. And The Rock's ex-wife is his business partner, Danny Garcia. She is the manager for Henry Cavill. So we all kind of thought for sure Cavill's making a reappearance. We know the new head of Warner Brothers Discovery is really irritated the fact that there's been no movement on Superman. He wants to make that a priority. So I think all signs pointed to Cavill, and he didn't show, and people were pissed. Like, a lot of online scoopers who have a lot of credibility, I think they were told to give him the heads up. He's going to be there, and then he just pulled. So I don't know what happened. That was a shock. Moving on from Cavill. No, go ahead. Sir, go ahead. Oh, yeah, sorry. I was telling you before, Rob, that this would have stolen the show. If Henry Cavill jumped up on that stage with The Rock or appeared via video chat or something like that, instead of us in the comments going, yeah, DC, I wish they would show up to these things, it would have been like, oh my God, they got Henry Cavill back as Superman. It would have taken the show. So there's no reason that they should keep it hidden if they've got this deal signed right now.
It would have been hilarious if Marvel, if Kevin Feige brought out.
Oh yeah, if they're like the new Captain Britain is Henry Cavill, and
Could you imagine? But for me, I know some people in the comments saying there's no Flash, there's no Aquaman. I am surprised that there was no Aquaman. I feel that movie's February it's coming out. So I thought for sure we would have had.
It's tainted right now.
Aquaman's not necessarily tainted. I thought we would have had a teaser of some sort.
Controversy. It did show up during the Shazam trailer when they go like, there's a guy that runs in a red suit and they showed Flash and then they talk about Aquaman. I was like, I'm surprised they didn't cut that Flash part out of that trailer.
That was all from the Justice League movie, all those three clips. Oh, and then
100%. Yeah, it was that Flash running scene. So
it's horrible running. But I was just really surprised that there was a lack of information. Like, listen, how do you not even bring out Michael Keaton to hype up even Batgirl? Like, I was just really surprised. Or Blue Beetle. Blue Beetle just finished filming, but you know that they could have put together a small teaser. Like, we're going to jump into Marvel in 2 seconds here, but they could have done something to say, here's the release dates. Here's a quick 30-second teaser. Just like Black Adam, they did it for fandom. The Rock, they unveiled a 30 or 35-second clip, enough to kind of whet our geek appetites going, holy shit. DC and Warner Brothers could have done this and could have at least had them somewhat in the conversation for this past weekend. And unfortunately, they're out of the conversation. Yeah. The Rock, as great as he is, couldn't hold anybody else's attention to next week's journalist, which is Marvel. And I gotta take a drink, John, because there's a lot of shit to talk about for Marvel.
Marvel, Rob sent me the graphics and stuff for this episode, and the Marvel, and it's all like freaking 80% Marvel stuff.
Yeah.
So shout outs to them. Yeah, I don't know why. Maybe DC saw what was going down, and they were like, we're gonna just put this back in it, and put this back in the holster, or put this clip away or whatever, and then we'll regroup during the next big thing where we can really shine or something like that. I don't know. I feel like maybe they're plagued with too many tainted. I don't even know if I can say it.
Dude,
tainted stars right now. I don't know.
Buzz coming from the He-Man panel because Dolph Lundgren said the magical words while holding up the sword. There was more buzz coming off of that than there was off the DC panel. You've got a problem. Okay, Marvel dropped their bona fides smack on the table for us to watch. We're gonna kick it off with the Phase 4, which is listen. Thankfully, Phase 4 is ending this year. We have 2 more properties on Phase 4. That's Phase 4 right there, John.
Yeah. Okay,
we have 2 more properties left. We have She-Hulk coming out in just a few short weeks, John, August 17th, 2022. And Black Panther Wakanda Forever is will finish off Phase 4 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. John, we've got 2 trailers for both of these properties, one for each. I'm assuming you've watched.
Yeah, of course. Okay. Yeah. I've watched both, so we're looking at the end of this timeline right now, which is She-Hulk and Wakanda Forever. So, Wakanda Forever definitely is going to take the title of most epic trailer of the night. I think, just sheer scope of it. I was worried that they were going to get. I don't know. They weren't going to pull it off, but the trailer does look pretty promising. It looks like we're going to be hella sad. For a portion of the movie at least, because it looks like they're going to pay tribute to Chadwick. I don't know if they're just going to address it in the storyline, or they're just going to. I feel like they should just not even explain it. Just say, hey, we're paying tribute to him because he passed away.
No, because the Angela Bassett, who plays the Queen, his mother, she does say that when she's going on how she's lost all of her family and she's the last one left, and you see there's that mural. But I hope
I wonder if they're going to explain why he's gone, or they're just going to be like he passed away and just kind of so it kind of blends the real world in with the movie world.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but yeah, it'll be very interesting. We obviously got, because of Black Panther Wakanda Forever trailer, we got our first look at Namor, the Submariner, as played by I can't remember the gentleman's name. Tenoch Hoch, I think is his name. He was from Narcos Mexico seasons 1 to 3. John's got a couple of pictures he's going to put up here. These are just screenshots from the trailer. But John, we can confirm that he has his his wings on his ankles.
Yeah,
in the trailer. It's going with a very Aztecian or Mayan look, as opposed to what Namor usually has. I don't know. I'm pretty hyped to see Namor in this. It'll be very interesting to see how this whole entire thing plays out. but I think there's been some good reception to what is, I mean, he's a mutant, right?
Yeah, for the first mutant is what they would call him all the time. Yeah,
right. And we've obviously the idea of mutants has recently been floated in a recent Disney Plus series that we reviewed. So we'll see what happens there. Also, the trailer showed us this picture here, which was towards the end of the trailer. We got one could be mistaken or forgiven if they thought it was a Killmonger suit, but I think this is a new Black Panther. And the question is, well, who is the new Black Panther? Is it Shuri? Is it M'Baku? Is it one of the other Dora Milaje? I have no idea, but we'll find out soon. And obviously, they released this amazing poster as well. So big buzz coming out of Black Panther. I want to quickly move on, though, to She-Hulk, John, because we have a lot to go for Phase 4 and 5 and 6. Did you watch the She-Hulk trailer?
Yeah, I watched it. I actually had a lot of fun with it. I know some people are talking about, I think Steve mentioned the CGI is not up to snuff. And
I thought it looked a lot better in this one, man.
Yeah. I liked it. I think I'm used to these types of cartoonish characters. I've watched a lot of these animated shows and stuff with my kids now. So I feel like the blending of the two of them together is fine with me. But this trailer actually has me pretty hype. If not for the epicness of the Black Panther trailer, I feel like this trailer wins San Diego Comic-Con for me, just because it's kind of goofy, it's silly, it's fun. There's a reveal at the end of the trailer. I don't know if we're going to get to talk to that. There's a moment where she breaks the fourth wall and turns to the audience.
Yeah.
And talks to them as a Deadpool, Ferris Bueller, whatever you want to call it. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So what about you, Rob?
Yeah, I'm really hyped. I was excited. I don't know, whatever you want to say about the property beforehand. I was in, I feel like I have to sneeze here. Sorry. But I'm even more.
Just make the face like you're going to do it, but don't do it.
But I'm even more hyped now for it after watching this full trailer. Like the last trailer, I was like, okay, it's all right. But this one gave us a hell of a lot more interaction with Mark Ruffalo's Hulk and Bruce Banner. It looks like a lot of fun. Like we could just spoil this. It's not really spoiling it. It's all over the place. That reveal at the very end of the trailer is literally 1.5 seconds of a certain masked blind vigilante jumping on top of a rooftop. And before we get to see a face, it cuts. And all we got really was waist to about mid chest of a new suit. So we are highly anticipating what the new Daredevil suit is going to look like. They were announced Charlie Cox is bringing his version of Matt Murdock and Daredevil back to She-Hulk to a cartoon called Spider-Man Freshman Year, which takes place before Spider-Man met Tony Stark in the MCU, as well a Daredevil TV series, John, called Born Again. That is a staggering 18 episodes, John, of this new Daredevil TV series. I was like, there's no way. I thought I sent a message to you guys. I'm like, guys, is it for real? 18 episodes? And sure enough, you just passed it. There we are. There was the Born Again.
So do you think it's gonna be like a law procedural, a la, like The Good Fight or The Good Wife or Law and Order or something like that, where he just does a bunch of cases and they just bang out episodes like that? I would actually be down for that.
Yeah, I mean, it is interesting. It's called Born Again because obviously it's a famous storyline from David Mazzucchelli. Mazzucchelli, is that? And anyways, and
right.
And Frank Miller.
Yeah.
But they kind of adapted that in the third season of the Netflix show, right? So it'd be very interesting to find out if they're going to make a different adaptation to it. But we know the Kingpin will be back. So yeah, listen, there's a lot going on there. But let's jump into Phase 5, John. I think you've got the graphic there. It starts off with Quantum Mania. Here we are. So, guys, there's and girls, there's a lot here to rhyme off. I'm not going to go on every date here, but
there's a ton.
Phase 5 does start off on February 17th with Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantum Mania, and then as you can see, We are jumping into spring of 2023 with Secret Invasion, which is Nick Fury and Talos, as played by Ben Mendelsohn from the Captain Marvel movie. We got a Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. They showed a trailer at San Diego Comic-Con. Apparently, people were in tears, literally in tears, watching this trailer. The reason we didn't get to see it online is because James Gunn said the FX are not done, and he's not prepared to put it out there and have the internet rip it apart. It was just for San Diego Comic-Con because he told them the FX shots are not done, but you get the sense of what we're doing. Fair enough. Following Guardians, we have Echo, the TV series on Disney Plus, which will star Charlie Cox's Daredevil as well. Loki season 2 is summer of 2023, followed up by The Marvels in July of 2020. We were very excited for that. Following how much fun we had with with Ms. Marvel, we finally have Ironheart. We saw Riri Williams. God, that's hard to say fast. In the Black Panther Wakanda Forever trailer, John, you saw her in there. You saw her hammering out that heart, kind of building her suit, much like Tony Stark did in the original Iron Man in 2008. And following Ironheart's TV series on Disney Plus, we are going to get Blade next year with Mahershala Ali stepping into the Daywalker's shoes. That then kicks us out over into winter of 2024, John, with Agatha Coven of Chaos. Obviously, Agatha Harkness getting her own show spun off from the WandaVision. I don't know. I think out of all of this,
what's the thing you want to see the least on this list, folks? I got an answer. This Agatha show. Sorry, no disrespect. I thought she's actually one of the better performers of that season, but I had no desire to watch more of her in her spin-off show.
Yeah, it doesn't mean anything to me. I couldn't care less. But you know what, John? I know we're going to end up having to watch the first episode to review it for everybody here. So, you're welcome. Following that up, we have Daredevil, which we just talked about. And then we got Captain America, New World Order, obviously, with Anthony Mackie as the new Captain America. I'm pretty hyped about that. We had talked about it, John, in our breaking news a couple weeks ago that they had announced a new director. And we knew production was starting. So Captain America, New World Order is out May of 2024. And then July of 2024 is the Thunderbolts. And that, John, ends the Phase 5. Now, interestingly enough for the Thunderbolts, John, is that Kevin Feige has come out and said, listen, there are going to be some heroes or villains or cast members that we've seen before. But there are going to be some that you have not seen and will not see leading up to Thunderbolts. So we will have some new characters introduced in Thunderbolts as well. So that's pretty exciting. John, that then drops us into Phase 6, which is crazy to believe that we're at a Phase 6 here. And it kicks off with something in the fall of 2024. As you can see, there might only be 3 titles up there, but there's a hell of a lot of placeholders. So something's kicking off in fall 2024.
There's a yellow dot and a whole bunch of
on the far left
at
the bottom.
Yeah.
It might be a Disney Plus show because following that on November the 2nd of 2024, we have Fantastic Four. And then we've got a bunch of things that are not being shown as of yet. That yellow dot at the top in winter of 2024.
It's definitely Howard the Duck.
Yeah, I'm thinking, dude, that it is so. I'm thinking that's Nova. I'm thinking that's going to be a Nova project. That's going to be right there. But the big 2 things right there, John, the far right is Avengers, the Kang Dynasty in May of 2025, and then followed up 5 months later, John, in November of 2025 with Avengers: Secret Wars. That's huge. I mean, first of all, you got 5 or 6 months in between those 2 properties, but the Kang Dynasty ending with Secret Wars. And John, I think you have the what they've announced as the of what the this is. It's the oh crap! Now I'm trying to find it on my screen here. What they're calling this phase, this overall the multiverse saga, John. You should have it after Secret.
There it is.
So that's what Marvel Studios is naming now. Phases 4, 5, and 6. This is the multiverse saga, as you know. Phases 1 through 3 were the Infinity Stone saga. So we're now into the multiverse saga, John.
Hello. Did you cut out?
Yes.
Did you cut out?
Oh, well, I'm still talking. You're frozen on my side. Hello. I don't know if anybody can still hear me or hear John. Let us know in the comments who is talking and who's not. I don't know if John's still around. Oh, I think I'm still moving. Rob is fine. Rob is talking. John is gone. Perfect. So that's it. The Multiverse Saga. So that's it. That's phases 4, 5, and 6. Here's a couple of surprises for me that we didn't get. We didn't get any information. Oh, we can see John waving right now.
Am I back? I don't know what's going on.
You're back,
sorry.
All right. That's fine. So that was I was just saying that's phases 4 through 6. We're done 4 practically at the end of this year. We have 5 and 6 coming up over the next 3 years. So, John, any surprises, things that we didn't see, anything that stuck out to you on this Multiverse Saga?
No, that's a lot. They announced a lot. I think there was, I don't know if you talked about it when I froze. There was a bunch of X-Men buzzing kind of in the background. Is the mutants not on the schedule, or was that like a rumor?
Yeah, so there was no information. The two big glaring things that we did not get any information on, one was the mutants that I think people were expecting, and the second one was anything to do with Deadpool 3. There was a lot of hype. We talked about this, I think, last week. No, we didn't. So leading up to last weekend, on Thursday, Disney announced Deadpool 1 and 2, as well as Logan, were making their debut on Disney Plus in the U.S. in their R-rated versions.
Yeah.
Which, you know, for people in Canada or outside of the U.S., we were like, yeah, big shit. We've have that on our Disney Plus now, but in the continental United States, they did not have those 3 movies on their Disney Plus streams. It was a huge thing for Disney to have that. That people felt was a precursor to some announcement being made of Deadpool 3. So we didn't get that, and then we also didn't get anything with the mutants. So that was a shock to me but then they dropped a bunch of shit that I didn't expect to get, because we talked about this last week with D23 coming up in a few short weeks, the end of September. I honestly thought a lot of this stuff was going to be announced in September at D23, John. So maybe we get some more information. Maybe they expand on what they've announced. Maybe we get some Deadpool 3 information and news or something in D23, but or something with the mutants. Who knows? But it is very feasible, John. We might not get a mutants movie until 2025. I mean, we go back and take a look at what we just saw on those slates, there is no open spots until 2024 and 5, which is in the end of 2024, and then all of 2025 on phase 6. So, could you throw in Deadpool in there? For sure. Can you throw in the mutants in there? For sure. But how do they interact with the Avengers, those 2 movies? I have no idea. John, I do want to quickly ask you, though, Avengers Secret Wars, because it's following the Kang dynasty, which we know Kang is the big baddie of this multiverse saga. Do you think we're going to get like a proper Secret Wars, like an adaptation of the original 1986 run where Spidey gets the black suit, the symbiote suit? Do you think we're going to get that in this
I don't think so.
Avengers Secret Wars?
No. I think if they could have, they've already tried to incorporate that black suit with I think Venom left a piece of himself behind in the last Spider-Man movie. I don't think so. I think it's going to be more of an adaptation of the newer, more current Secret Wars stuff. But who knows?
Although it isn't black, John. That logo isn't black.
Yeah, hey, you never know, but it's so far away. I can't even imagine what they're going to be able to include in there, because I'm pretty sure the X-Men were part of the original Secret Wars.
They were.
I do remember having a Wolverine figure from the Secret Wars action figure line. So yeah, I don't know. I haven't read that original one in forever.
Well, good news, John.
Yes,
it's being released as an omnibus in November.
Yes, I think Scott was asking about that. Timely that they do that. Yeah.
We just blew through a lot of stuff on Marvel. So we can slow this down. John, anything that really hyped you, and anybody in the chat, let us know the things that really hyped you from phases 5 through 6. Anything that stuck out that you were surprised we got announcements on, or anything that you're glad was finally confirmed?
Yeah, so let me see. For Marvel stuff, I kind of just take it because they've already got, this is the machine for them, right, Rob? Like they do this infographic like every year. They hit us with this thing, with this timeline type thing, every year. So it's kind of like I'm pretty used to them kind of knowing what's kind of getting slotted for the next year or so. So I wouldn't say I'm super surprised by any of this stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I like the Ironheart. I think you can see an image of Ironheart. They spoiled some of the Funko toys or something like that, so you can kind of see what the costume's going to look like, which is kind of unfortunate. And a bunch of toy stuff is getting dropped. So yeah, if you're a toy collector, you're going to get kind of semi-spoilered. Are you hype at all for this Ant-Man Wasp Quantumania? I feel like it's flown like way under the radar.
Well, it has really flown under the radar. I agree with you. They released, I think, do you have the poster I sent you for that, John?
That artist, like the artist render looking poster?
Yeah, it's the very last, it should be the very last picture I think I sent. Where you get a good look at Kang in there. And as you can see, there's 3 individuals. You have Ant-Man, you have the Wasp, and that in the purple is Scott Lang's daughter, Cassie.
Yeah.
I don't know what character she's playing. But at any rate, yeah, I'm kind of hyped for it because I'm hopeful that this will actually, first of all, I'm a big Paul Rudd fan, but I'm kind of hoping that it will.
He made that Endgame movie for me, Paul Rudd. Like he was MVP for me.
I hope that they kind of right the wrongs of the multiverse that I feel we got with Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. So I'm kind of hoping that this is a proper multiverse story, and that it really does lay the foundation of this multiverse saga. I think will rest on the shoulders of this. We also have confirmation, John, at San Diego Comic-Con that Modoc is going to be a major villain in Ant-Man and the Wasp, and that Bill Murray is playing a character in this movie. Was he playing Modoc? I have no idea. But you know what, man? Listen, it's February. It sounds like a long time away, but John, I hate to be a bearer of bad news, but we are already towards the end of July. So
summer's going to be over in a second.
It's 6 months from now, John. In 6 months, we'll be able, 6.5 months, we're going to be watching Ant-Man and the Wasp and Quantumania. That's not that far off. So I am pretty hyped to see this movie. For me, I was quite happy to see that they finally announced Blade. That we have a date for Blade.
Yeah, you have a date. Yeah. I don't keep up with all this stuff, so I didn't realize that we don't actually have a date for it. So that's nice to see. Scott shouts out Young Avengers. Yeah, I feel like they'd be planting the seeds for this Young Avengers thing for a while. But I think one of the characters does have to do with Kang, so we could see it after that last infographic, or maybe slotted right in front of those Avengers movies. So we'll see. I like the idea of them bringing up these young talents. I'm really looking forward to seeing Miss Marvel show up in Marvels. So I think Marvel is doing a good job of bringing these new young casted characters into the mix that we kind of are itching to see more of. So maybe that's what that whole bottom line is going to be, and there's going to be a whole bunch of stuff that shows up in there. Well,
it's very interesting because if you think this next year, John, we'll see 4 MCU movies. That's a lot, right? Like that
we're compared to like when it basically dried up during the pandemic and we had like 2.
Yeah, you got February, May, July, and November, and then you've got 4 series in between those as well. So I think 2023 is going to be a hell of a lot of Marvel. Occupying our time and our headspace for 2023, which again, on guys and girls, we are 4 months away from that happening, right? So that's hard to believe. Okay, so yeah, I'm hyped about Blade finally getting some information. I'm happy to see that we got this Daredevil again. 18 episodes is 4, 8, 12, 3. that's 4.5 months, John, if they were doing it weekly. So I don't know. That's crazy to me that we have.
Yeah, maybe they'll drop a double episode on debut or triple episode on like first week or something. Right?
Sure, but still, we're at 4 months of
Yeah. That's a lot. So yeah, I think I'm kind of down with it. One of the things I liked about Miss Marvel was it basically seemed like a TV show that happened to have a superhero spin on it. Like I could have watched it without the superhero spin and just watched the young actress growing up. So if Daredevil becomes like this law drama that just happens to have Daredevil in it, that I think that'd be kind of cool. I think Michelle brought up the point. If it's as long as some of those Netflix series got, a little long in the tooth, those definitely were abusing the fact that they got so many.
They were 13 episodes.
And it felt like a slog. It was very slow paced. So shout outs to that. What about, we didn't mention the I Am Groot show, or what? I don't know what that was, Rob.
Yes, that's coming out this August. I Am Groot. It is I think I probably purposely left it off, John. It's original shorts, 5-10 minute shorts.
Okay, so shorts. So not really, but it'll be some fun stuff that they're going to produce merchandise for. And I saw that Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur are getting an animated series of some kind as well. That comic is definitely being up and coming, and it's being placed in schools and all kinds of the kids racks and stuff like that. So it'd be good to get that kind of more into the mix for everyone.
We got an announcement of What If season 2, as well as
What do you more looking for least to watch? I don't know how I would word that. I was trying to figure out.
I get.
What are you least looking forward to watching, Agatha or What If season 2?
Yeah, but I will say, Joe, they actually also announced a Marvel Zombies animated show specifically for Marvel Zombies, and that will be rated M for mature. So I'm actually pretty hyped about that. We got, like I said, the Spider-Man freshman years, which takes place before Peter Parker meets Tony Stark. So he's got the old school suit on, and he is also they also announced freshman year and sophomore year, I think, is season 2. X-Men 97, we got some, at least got to take a look at what some of the characters and the costumes look like. It's very similar to the X-Men 97, so that's good. They're holding that. Apparently, people in San Diego also got to see a bit of a sizzle reel with some of the animation and the voice cast from the original X-Men cartoon.
The majority of the voice cast from the original series is returning. I'm surprised they didn't get on this sooner. X-Men 97 is those things that a lot of us grew up on, probably.
Yeah,
more so than the comics. So it's almost similar to the Batman animated series, where it's so cemented into a lot of our youths and the popularity of X-Men that I'm surprised they haven't gone to this well sooner. And I don't know why they didn't. Maybe because they have this animated series. Maybe that's why they didn't want to announce anything else live action.
Well, they did announce something else about the X-Men animated series, John, is that apparently the original 97 show is out of order. And I have to say, like, I was going to rewatch this.
100% makes sense. Yeah.
I noticed, I was like, why are the episode counts like bizarre? Like, why is 10 and then it goes to 4? Like, I didn't understand. Apparently, they have now corrected it. And it was a big announcement they made at Comic-Con. We've heard you. We've listened. We've made the corrections. All the animated X-Men episodes are now in order. Great. So John, I know that we are kind of getting close to time. Let's move on to anything else that kind of struck or tickled your fancy. What else did you hear about? Did you see things that excited you or that popped up into your radar space for Comic-Con that was non-Marvel DC?
Yeah, I did see, I think Lewis and maybe Steve mentioned that there is a Berserker movie / anime series on the way. That is the Keanu Reeves comic book. And it is done by, I forgot what the anime studio is, but they did some of the Star Wars Visions stuff and a lot of other things. So that is pretty promising. That was pretty much engineered to become some type of TV show or movie. So not surprised by that. I know we mentioned a little bit about Star Trek stuff. There's a bunch of Star Trek stuff going on. That's, always good. Always good to see more Trek stuff and expanding the universe. And I think Sarah did ask if we talked about Walking Dead yet. Sorry, Sarah, we didn't.
On purpose?
Yeah. I don't know about on purpose, but neither of us follow it. So
I dropped out. I do know, though, that, John, this is a Rick Grimes and Michonne series. Now, following, I think Grimes left in season 9. You saw him flying off in a helicopter, and they had announced they were going to make a couple of standalone movies, 2 or 3 movies with his character, Andrew Lincoln's character. I guess they've said, we're not going to make these movies. We're now doing this TV series instead. So it's the Rick Grimes and Michonne show.
Okay.
Whatever.
Sure. Yeah. Sarah, let us know if you're hype about it. If you're hype about these new Walking Dead properties coming out. I'm
you know who's hype about it? Robert Kirkman. He's like, fill my pockets with more of that green money.
I'm looking forward to right now. They're republishing the series in single issue format in full color. I'm looking forward to those collected editions coming out when I guess they wrap that, because I think that's going to reignite a lot of interest into the series.
Interesting.
Because some people just can't get into the black and white comics. What about the D&D? I think we one of us or some of us posted the D&D trailer. I didn't watch it because you guys trashed it in our chat. I watched it before we aired here.
Yeah.
And I don't know if this is a hot take or not, but it looks like a ton of fun.
Yeah.
It looks cool. I think they do not want to go the same route as a Game of Thrones, Lord of the Rings, and do something super serious. So I like the fact that they're kind of doing like a light kid kind of youth teenager friendly romp. I will criticize that Chris Pine, he I don't know, his look is not quite fitting into the world that they've kind of set up. I don't know if you remember when Clive Owen started to try and do this medieval run in his career, and you're just like, that guy does not look like he could
belong in that time period,
back in that day, or even I think Jason Statham has actually done it as well. He's had that buzz cut and being in a medieval movie or something like that, and you're just like, that guy looks too modern to be like that. What are your thoughts on D&D the movie?
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Is it a worthy follow-up to the original D&D movie from your childhood?
From UE Bowl. You know what, man? I don't know. I think it looks okay, but I have no attachment to this property, this IP whatsoever. People apparently went bananas when they found out at the end of the trailer that Chris Pine plays the Bard, and people were like, "That's hilarious," because that's like the weakest character. Okay, I'm glad people are hyped for it. I think
I like when you make plans that don't work or something like that. You make plans that fail. He's like, no, I make plans and then we keep trying them. So, I don't know.
Yeah,
he's funny. I think he's gonna deliver. So good for them. D&D is blazing hot right now. So the more eyes you get on D&D, it's a fantastic game.
My son seems to be intrigued by the trailer. So you know what? We'll probably go and check out the trailer. Go check out the movie when it drops.
Fraser says it can't be as bad as the first one. Low bar, but he's right. They should be at least the most simplest thing is to not repeat what happened back in, I don't know, what was that, 90 whatever or something.
Yeah.
Do not repeat that.
Yeah.
That's your one job.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, where's my Double Dragons reboot? I want to get you and I can each have the half medallion and we can sing.
Alyssa Milano, Scott Wolf, and Mark Dukakis. They're probably all available. So let's do it.
They would be.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Oh, we got something, John, that I know that you're going to bring up, but I'm going to steal it from you. Snatch. We got information on a John Wick 4 trailer. We
almost forgot about one of the other winners of the show.
We got the John Wick 4 trailer.
Yeah.
Man, did that thing look amazing, eh?
It looked, I wanted to hold off because I know 100% we're going to watch this. Everyone in this chat, everyone alive now is probably going to watch this movie. So I'm like, do I need to watch this trailer? And I started to watch it, and man, does it look good. Yeah. Like I couldn't, I was worried that maybe they might have gone too far or bitten off more they can chew. But especially when I saw Donnie Yen pop up there and they're like kind of shooting each other, like so much. And this looks so good. And I love, my favorite part of the trailer is when Lawrence Fishburne holds up his suit. Yeah. And he's like, I think he says, "Are you ready, Mr. Wick?" Or I don't remember what he says, John, or he just calls him and goes like, and holds up his suit. And you're just like, oh, it's on. So yeah, let us know let us know what won all these reveals. What's your most favorite thing out of all these reveals? Rob, do you think you can pinpoint what your number one most favorite is?
Trailer wise or just overall reveal? Wait, What? Michelle?
Michelle.
For those listening at home, Michelle just made a confession. She has never seen a John Wick film. She's watched Howard the Duck 19 and a half times, but has never watched a single John Wick movie.
She wants in John Wick 4. Don't worry, he is going to use quack fu. It's going to be in there, Michelle. So you're going to have to catch up. We did a rewatch with our Keanu Reeves-a-thon. I think I want to say it was last summer. I'd do it again if that's what it takes for you to watch John Wick. Let's do it again. Let's fire it up again this August. Let's do it every year on the same like brick of the Sidekick Show. We'll do it. Let us know if there's a reason why you haven't watched it. But yeah, so sorry, did you pick your number one reveal?
No, I guess, is it based on trailer?
How about pick the trailer that you're gonna watch? You watch Batman trailer like a million times. Are any of these trailers gonna be the one that you're gonna just kind of hit repeat on and watch a couple times?
Yeah, well, I did watch the John Wick one, and admittedly I've watched this Shazam one the most. Yeah. I've watched Black Panther a couple of times, but to be honest with you, it feels very heavy to me. And I'm like, you know what? I kind of just want to go with, I don't know if I want to watch any more Black Panther trailers. Mm-hmm. I think I just want to go into it and experience it and, whatever, have my moment with that.
I think, you're going to want to see that on the big screen. You're not going to watch it again on the small screen. You're going to want to see the big tribute, the music, everything kind of coming together, kind of like Dune. Like everything just on the 15 minutes. But yeah, you're going to want to see it all kind of come together on the screen. So you maybe are going to hold off on watching that trailer. And I think a lot of people have already pulled it apart and started like analyzing frame by frame.
I don't.
Who's what? They've already determined that character at the end, it looks a little more like a female character in the suit. Yep. Who knows? Maybe they're right. Maybe they're wrong. So Black Panther is not going to be on your rewatch list.
No, but for me,
do you think it's Shazam?
It's been Shazam and John Wick. But the Shazam one, I just find to be so much fun. Also, there's some horror story stuff in there. In the pediatrician's office, there's Annabelle, the doll, because it's the same director, right? He actually snuck the doll in. If you look at it, when he's like, I'm a pediatrician, and he looks at the wall, and there's a bunch of dolls in the chair is Annabelle. To me, I think that's hilarious. So, I think the Shazam one looked to me to be like the most fun. I've seen the Black Adam once, which I had mentioned before, I really enjoyed. So I feel like I didn't get anything overly new on that, except a bit more Dr. Fate. But Shazam, loved it. These movies are all coming out before the end of this year. So that has me super hyped, except for John Wick 4, I feel, is next year. So
yeah. So John Wick, I don't think I'm going to watch again because I don't want any more spoilers. Like I want to kind of forget about it by the time the movie comes out, because I want to be in that theater. I want to be with everyone else in the audience going, like, reacting to all this craziness that happens. And same feelings for the Wakanda Forever trailer. I think we're going to want to wait till that hits the screen and you can take it all in. And also it's going to be pretty emotional if you kind of continue watching that trailer. So I think the winner for me is She-Hulk. She-Hulk looks like a ton of fun. I think the animation looks hilarious. All the Hulk stuff. And all the cameos, so many cameos. There's a bunch of silly characters. There's like I don't know if you noticed him in there, Rob. There's the guy who wears the frog suit that falls on top of the car and stuff. You see a little shot of the frog suit right before he does that, which is pretty funny. And the Daredevil reveal at the end, and all kinds of funny stuff. So the breaking of the fourth wall. So I think it'll be good. So shout outs to Michelle. Yeah, they do kill John Wick's dog, but they pay for it. In a hard way, so definitely watch that. Yeah, for over 3 movies. Yeah, so Lewis shouts out the Picard season 3 reveal. I did like seeing Geordie LaForge, my all-time favorite Trek dude, because he wore glasses. Shout outs to my corrective lens wearers who every time they saw a character wearing corrective lenses was like, yes, a representation of us. Oh my god. So anyways, I don't know if there's anything else we needed to cover. Rob.
No, I think that's it. Like I said, we could be on here for hours because there were so many statue reveals. There were so many toy reveals. Hasbro dropped a whole bunch of shit on their social media page, especially surrounding the Wakanda Forever stuff and their Marvel line of toys. There were some video game announcements, Gotham Knights, some reveals there. We got some reveals on Clerks 3 with Kevin Smith. We got some Motu, the new Master of the Universe. What was the first one? Was it
Revelations? I think.
Revelations. What's this new one?
I don't know.
Anyways, and new season of Kevin Smith's He-Man series with William Shatner. He brought him out. He's voiced a character that is not being announced yet, but 91-year-old William Shatner is going to be playing a character in the new He-Man TV series. So, honestly, guys and girls, we could go on for hours talking about all the reveals, all the things that we saw, the things that we loved. We blew through all of the Marvel announcements, but hey, time is not on our side, John, and I think...
Last question, what about the Lord of the Rings? I know you're a big Lord of the Rings guy.
Oh, we did get that trailer leading. It was a Thursday, right? We got two. We got the Rings of Power, and we also got the Game of Thrones trailer for the new prequel series coming out this August. Rings of Power is in September. I gotta say, John, I was quite impressed with both of those. I loved the Lord of the Rings movies.
Yeah.
I will only watch the extended cuts. But I gotta say, this Game of Thrones prequel has me a lot more hyped now than what I was for it. So
it looks slightly more exciting. The Lord of the Rings, like I said, I have no attachment to this franchise, but that looked hell of expensive. Whatever they put in there, like that looked like a lot of money on a TV screen. So
they threw a lot. That's why my Prime membership is going up from $80 to $120 for the year. So there we go.
They're like, we need more dragons and things in the background. And
tell you what, I'll pay it gladly if I get my season of Reacher season 2 dropping sometime in 2023. So let's make that happen. But that, John, I think is the end of our Comic-Con recap review. I want to thank you, John, for gathering all of the stuff together.
I did some of the work, not really.
Yeah, and a big thanks to all of those in our chat tonight, whether it was through Facebook, whether it was through YouTube or Twitch. A big thank you to you for showing up, first of all, and then for commenting, letting us know the things that you liked, you didn't like, disappointed, or that you were shocked to see. We wouldn't be here, John, if it wasn't for them. So a big thank you to everybody there. Before we go, John, if you haven't had an opportunity to check out our review, and this is not about if you haven't been able to check that out with Stu, myself, and John, please head off right after this. Just when this is done, kick over to the next link.
First part is spoiler free. Whenever we do reviews, folks, the first part is always spoiler free, and then we give you a big heads up when we go into spoilers. So if this movie you're like, meh, I don't know, or you've never heard of it, or you're wondering, curious as to what the heck it is, watch our spoiler free portion and see if it catches you. We had a lot of fun.
We discussed at the beginning of our review is that it is not in English. It is dubbed. Do not let that stop you. Mm-hmm. You may be struggling for the first 15 minutes to be like, why am I doing this? I'm going to tell you right now that movie is going to hook you and you're going to love it. So definitely, if you have not checked out our review, go check that out. It's on our YouTube page. And keep your notifications locked. Please subscribe if you are new here. If you are watching this after watching our review and you've never visited this portion of the show, please make sure you subscribe to the channel. And we've got a lot of cool things coming up.
Yeah. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Rob. Yeah, that was a lot, Rob. That was all you. That was like 98% Rob. And I threw some pictures on the screen and kind of and jumbled up a bunch of English language words as usual. So thank you, everybody. Join us again next Monday, 8:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I think we're doing Drive, Rob, or we're...
Yeah, well, listen, we've watched it. A lot of people have watched it. If you haven't watched it, get your heads out of your butts. Go to Amazon Prime. Just go ahead and watch it.
Watch Drive. Have some fun, and
it's
maybe
we'll better than maybe you remember it being. It was 2011, John. So maybe it's
like a 10-year anniversary for that movie. So check it out. If not, listen to the soundtrack. If not, watch whatever your favorite car or automotive related movie is, and we can add that to the mix next week because I think it'll come up in discussion. So thank you, everybody. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, everybody.
Y'all have a good night. And we'll
man. Thanks, John.
Yeah. All right. How do I end this thing? Do I hit
Press
this button?
End broadcast.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna hit this button here.